Greetings, beloved ones. This is Arti, speaking on behalf of the higher commands of light. And it is a great pleasure for us to notice your presence this evening, for which we have great plans to anchor light to you and to the world. So to begin with, take some deep breaths. And as you do, imagine that we are in the room with you. Unseen presences, but most definitely there. For indeed we are there with you, connecting to you and adding to the numbers of you. For us who live without a physical body, or for most of the time live without one, it is a great pleasure to visit them from time to time, to experience the beauty in your physical world. We have beauty in our world too. Love and light in abundance, beautiful webs of light, connections from soul to soul, connections to the source. And yet we can sometimes miss the physical world if we have experienced it. For you have things we do not. Hearing, for instance, in the way you listen to sounds. We have something similar, but it is not the same. It's more the experience of the vibration of light. You have many senses, like touch, to feel the touch of another soul from body to body. You have taste. These are beautiful experiences. And as much as living in higher dimensions of light and beauty seems as the goal when you look at things from the physical world, living in the physical world seems like a goal for us. And so these worlds will blend, they will become one. And when they do, you will no longer experience separation, for that won't even be a memory. It was only coming into being as a way to compose physical bodies with a density like the ones you have, so that you could begin to have life experiences at all in the physical world. And life exists all over your multiverse, and in many places one has already evolved the physical bodies into physical bodies of lesser density that can hold more of the spiritual presence without burning out. And that's where you are heading to. The human body is evolving, and very rapidly so, which is great news for you, as well as for us, for that means our worlds are coming closer. And as things go quicker and quicker, evolution goes now with almost instant speed. If you compare to how life was experienced on your planet some 100,000 years ago. The last millenniums have involved tremendous shifts, and now you are in what we call the second wave of spiritual evolution, a short period about 20 to 40 years long only, where most things that you've known about life will change. The human body will evolve. The spiritual worlds will come closer, and the spiritual light will become visible. And as soon as it does, you will have an almost instant transformation in how you view life. For no one can deny the presence of spiritual light when you can both see and feel it. So that will indeed change how you view life. And when the spiritual light becomes visible, so will all those webs of light that unites all life, and you will definitely see that you are not alone in the multiverse, and begin to communicate with other people who may be far ahead of you technically and spiritually. And as they share their wisdom and knowledge with you, there will be even more rapid changes. And so this lifetime of yours will possibly be the last in density, and whatever next life you will take on will be different, for you will not be born having forgotten about you, your soul, about light and spirit and source. You will know all that from start, and therefore you will live life in a different way. And so those present issues that you have with conflicts, power struggles, scarcity, poor health, will no longer be an issue in the future for humanity, but they are for many people in your world. And so we would like to paint this picture of the future first, that you realize that you have come far, and that the earth is moving from living like a distant village all by itself somehow in the galaxy into living a galactic lifestyle where you will be able to travel freely, visit your relatives on other planets and stars. And so although living on the earth, if you do, you won't be earthbound. So if you think that you will move back to some kind of lifestyle you had some 100 years ago or two, and that would be the future, we can tell you it is not. Evolution goes forward, and you will live differently as humanity in this future time that is not far away. And with the know-how of other people in your galaxy, there are solutions to all those things you see as problematic in your world today. Thus, we see nothing to worry about for future generations. And it is this great prospect of this future that makes all of the souls wanting to come to Earth, because they find it exciting to live on a planet in change, to see this transformation, both on an individual and a collective level. And therefore you have so very many people in this moment. And some souls are going almost crazy, saying, okay, how many bodies can I take on the earth, for God's sake? 20, 40, 2,000, 300,000, what do I have to pay to have that? Not that souls think that way like you do, but But we describe this only so you understand the great attraction there is to life on earth in this moment. So you, as the one you are, sitting in this room or at home, you may think you are the only incarnation of your soul. You should not think so. So it means that you are already a multiple you here on this planet. For that's what souls do. They gather experiences. And from the soul's perspective, everything looks beautiful. But from within the bodies, when you are not connected to the soul, the viewpoint can be quite different. You can feel lost, alone, not knowing what to do, or there is so much to do that you feel unable to orientate in all of the things you want to do. And there is stress, and there is an abundance of information flowing and flooding from every angle of life. And yet there is that inner longing to fully manifest who you are, your light, your beauty, your love, your consciousness. Every human is born with these innate qualities. The longing for love, the longing to love, the longing for light, to be seen and to share your light, the longing to explore, to evolve, to become more. All of these things are driving forces that you share with every human being. And because of that, because those are the most basic driving forces, there's great hope for all of you. For you all want the same. You just don't know how to manifest it. And so some try to push their way forward with aggression, others with love. There are all kinds of varieties in how you aim to manifest these inner driving forces. And so there is complete chaos in some aspects, and a complete beauty if you look at it from a different angle. From the way we look at it, it's complete beauty. Things are changing. People are changing. The way you relate to one another are changing. And because you are so many, and some do not remember who they are or why they are here, simply because you live in the dense world, you have all of the struggles and challenges, where you give as good as you get. And now, in these next years, there will be increased turbulence in your world. And so, for you and for all of you who already remember that you are light and who wants to add light to this world, it's important to not let that wear you down, but that you live harmoniously. This is important for many reasons. First of all, because you're here to open the way for others. And if you let this chaos and challenges and turbulence wear you down, it would be like you would let that open the way for you, which would be an upside down world, and you would lose orientation. And so it is important to always have this overview that things are changing and that the life that we described for the future will happen, for we have seen it. And even from another perspective, one can say it already exists. It has just not found its way to the earth yet. And how can it? Well, by you opening for it. For when you open your light, when you connect to the plan, you bring it here. And so imagine for a moment as you relax now that you're already living in that world. A world of light, a world of peace, a world of higher consciousness, a technically highly developed society. And where the threads of light that connect you to others are visible. So much so that indeed there is no difference in between you and them. Yet there is an individual experience. But it is clearly visible how life flows in between all of you. And that in reality, you are one life form. You are humanity. And because you can clearly see that this is one life form, just as, let's say, a cell in your knee would see that it's part of a larger life form with a cell in your hip, you would see that living as humanity. And when that is clear to you, it would be pointless to try to destroy that cell in the hip, for that would only fall back on you and weaken the greater life form, the physical body. And so as you are one life, and as this will be clear to everyone, you will relate to one another differently. And if it is true, and we say that it is, you don't need to accept it, but just imagine it for now. Imagine that the smallest particle is the same as the whole. And that is true all about the multiverse. If this life form of humanity would really be like we describe, so would you and your physical body. If your physical body would be a reflection of what takes place in the whole, well, then there are many things no longer needed. Other things will change. Health will definitely improve. Because also in that body, there will be harmony and visibility, and life will be aware of one another. And the aging process that you experience is changing too. So it will more be a question about, all right, how long do I want to hold on to these particles? Right now, in separation and in density, you gather energy to hold the physical body in form, and you can have it in that form for a certain amount of time, and then leave it, and then come back, and so on and so on. That will not be so. But it will be souls connecting into life, experience it as individuals, as collectives, and then leaving it, giving up their space in the bus for someone else, so to speak. That may take some more generations before that is the case, but definitely so. But what if your physical body would not be so limited, but rather it is the energies you hold about it that are limited? thoughts, emotions, ideas you have about reality, truths that you share perhaps with your society, but are in no way true? What if these things are presently limiting you? And if you could hold a higher consciousness, a higher spiritual presence, you would not at all be so limited. And that is what you, the light workers, experience from time to time. Sometimes when you are open, miraculous things happen. And then your mind goes, no, that's not possible. So you move back to the limited ideas. Now, what if you would indeed let go of your limitations? That is one way too, that you support this future we are talking about. By letting things be easy, for there is no need for struggle. And the more so-called miracles you let into your life, the more others can see that it works and be inspired by you. So, as you let things be easy, and when you live harmoniously, even if the world is in chaos, you are doing a great service to the collective. For you are letting in things that are easy, that are flowing, making it accessible to others. And thus that is possibly the greatest gift you can give the world, especially at this time, to let in light, let love come in, let flow be there. For as you do, you will also be a steady point of light in this collective of humanity. That is your way of taking care of the collective. For the collective is your responsibility as much as your individual life. Not in the sense of going in to control every other individual, but because you have the gift of living in the collective, it is your responsibility to add to it, your way of giving back the gift of having a physical life. And it is your way to prepare for your future. So relax for some moments now and consider this. All right. Now gently bring yourself back and ground yourself.